Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us for another session of Let's Get Cooking. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm just going to click this. Thank you all. So, hey, Valerie. Valerie. I know. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another session of Let's Get Cooking. My name is Shanette, and my lovely co-host is Naya. Shout out to all of you all, and shout out to UC Davis School of Medicine. Shout out to the city of Oakland. And we are going to be doing some pretty cool things today. So today is like literally the last day of April. We are in full swing doing spring things, I like to call it. And so I thought it would be really cool, even though we have made this recipe before. So for all of the folks that have been in Let's Get Cooking for like the past 6 years, and yes, we have surpassed our 6 year mark. So kudos to us. We are still trekking along and going. Um, so I thought it would be cool to make some spring rolls because it's spring, and I really love fresh spring rolls. I think they're super duper yummy, and they're very versatile. They're a very versatile treat. You can make it a meal if you put enough vegetables in, you eat enough. Hey, Gail. But they're very versatile. You can put any type of vegetable or fruit that you want in it. I've seen them made very beautifully with like flowers and rice noodles. So we're gonna go over the ingredients of what we're gonna put into our spring rolls, and some of these things are optional. So if you do not have everything, don't feel bad. Just use what you have, okay? And Naya, can you go over our ingredients now?
Yes, for our lovely fresh vegetarian spring rolls with a creamy peanut sauce, you're gonna need about 8 to 10 rice paper wrappers.
Can you
Makes
up a
about
little bit? You're a little low.
that makes about 4 servings. So for the spring rolls, which we are making, we're gonna need 8 to 10 rice paper wrappers, and that serves about four. We're also gonna use a cup of shredded carrots, 1 cup of thinly sliced cucumber, 1 cup of thinly sliced bell peppers of any color, and we love vibrant
Yeah, we
leafy.
love our colors. Yeah.
Make sure you incorporate some colors. We have 1 cup of red cabbage, shredded, optional but beautiful and nutrient rich. We need about 1 to 2 cups of butter lettuce or romaine, ½ cup of fresh mint leaves, ½ cup of fresh cilantro leaves, and a cup of cooked rice noodles, which is optional for added texture. Okay, and that is for the spring rolls. But for our peanut sauce, we're gonna need ½ cup of natural peanut butter or any nut butter alternative of your choice. We need 2 to 3 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce or tamari. We also need a tablespoon of lime juice, fresh. If you have the option to squeeze it yourself, we need 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or agave for natural sweeteners. 1 teaspoon of grated ginger. It was optional but highly recommended for that extra
Highly
kick.
recommended. Yeah, highly recommended.
And we need 1 small garlic clove, minced. That is also optional on the amounts. 2 to 4
Never optional.
tablespoons of warm water to thin out your sauce to desired consistency. And optional if you like a little heat, go ahead and top it with some chili
So,
flakes.
on your chili flakes, okay? So yeah, sorry. To me, garlic is never optional. Garlic in your sauce is going to be the game changer, and the ginger, okay? So if you don't have it, it's okay. You can go grab some from the store later. But if you do have garlic and ginger, please make sure that you use it. All right. So one of the first things that we're going to do, if you have your rice noodles, for our rice noodles, typically I get the vermicelli noodles, which are the really thin noodles that do not take a very long time to cook. You can literally boil your water, and so I would highly suggest if you have not already started boiling your water to do so, and then you drop it in there. Now, every package of rice noodles has different directions, and so I'm going to have Naya look up the directions online because I was going to read them to you, but my package actually doesn't have directions, cooking instructions on it. But I just wanted to show you all. what it looks like. They're very thin. And if you have boiling hot water, you can either drop these in your hot water, and I think they only need to soak for like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes tops, and then you remove them. We're going to remove them and set them to the side, okay? So, Naya, if you could find some instructions for our vermicelli rice noodles, that would be super helpful. I've already boiled my water, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop those noodles in there,
Okay,
dropping them
sis.
right.
To cook the vermicelli rice noodles, you're going to boil them for 2 to 3 minutes or soak in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes until soft.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately rinse with cold water to stop soaking and prevent sticking. Drain well and for best texture, let them air dry for about 15 to 30 minutes before adding to dishes. Do not overcook or they will become mushy.
Okay. So I already had boiled my noodles. I'm going to go ahead and let them soak for 5 minutes. So, Naya, if you can give me a jingle when we're about there. And so, per the instructions, I'll let Naya, I think we're going to go ahead and just start chopping the vegetables and we can make the sauce last. And so, for our veggies, we're just going to get everything prepped and ready to go. Okay. And so, we'll start with our bell pepper. Of course, you want to make sure everything is rinsed and clean and ready to be chopped up. And so for our bell pepper, we're chopping in slices, right? Just long, thin slices. Right.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Before we get started, does anybody have any questions? Everybody's good.
See, seems like everyone's good. No hand raises or microphones turned on.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and how I like to cut my bell pepper is just right around the edges. I'm just going to cut around, and of course, we have all of these beautiful little seeds on the inside. So if you want to grow bell peppers, the best thing for you to do is to save those seeds, okay? And then, of course, even if you don't want to grow the bell peppers, we're going to save our bell pepper scraps to make our veggie broth, okay? So make yourself a bag and throw it in there. And then I'm going to, so hopefully can you see on the other,
Well, yeah.
I want to highlight the other screen. There we go.
Yes.
And I'm just going to go into thin slices. So we just want them nice and thin.
Yes, it's more than a thick rice paper roll. Too thick, so then it's more flexible. Um,
All right. And then our bell pepper fun fact, Naya.
Bell peppers are loaded with vitamin C, often providing more than an orange per serving, sorry, which plays a key role in immune support and collagen production for healthy skin. The different colors offer unique polynutrients. Red bell peppers are rich in carotenoids, while green bell peppers provide chlorophyll and a slightly more bitter cleansing profile. So the different colors do offer different health benefits. And the vibrant colors in the spring rolls are not just pretty, they represent different plant compounds, which is the phytonutrients I was talking about in the bell peppers that support everything from brain health to glowing skin. And it's really
We're gonna have to get you a microphone, honey. You're very low. Okay. All right. So we have our bell peppers, nice and sliced. I'll just cut out. Now, what's our next ingredient, Naya, that we're gonna cut, and how are we preparing it?
all right. So now we have the option to shred our carrots. Well, let me see what else needs to get sliced before we do that. cilantro. We can chop some cilantro,
We
mint.
have our cucumber. So we'll go ahead and shred our carrots. It's fine. We'll shred our carrots. So we're shredding like in a cheese shredder, or are we
It's optional. I'll say
shredding
you
like
can
a
either do
ribbon?
a peeler. Yeah, you can do the a ribbon. I feel like that would be much softer for the roll. So it does not tear.
So let's see. I got this cool little peeler when I was in Atlanta over the past week. And shout out to Dr. S and her amazing conference, Alter Dementia. That's where I was over the past week. All right, so I'm just gonna, let's see if this works.
Alright, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, hopefully. I just had to turn that up. Let me see.
Can
All right, well,
everybody hear Naya? I don't know, maybe you should ask everybody if they can hear you.
can everyone hear me? Let's see.
All right, so I'm gonna make it so it's gonna be very similar to,
Oh, let's chuck in our noodles.
oh, was that my
Yeah, that was
time?
your timer. Sorry, it was so random.
That was super random. I was like, what is that? I thought we were like in the Star. I thought we were getting Star Wars music. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna test it a little bit just to make sure it's cooked all the way. When I make noodles, I just like to do the taste test. They're pretty good. Okay.
Thank
So what
you.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my noodles out. You guys can keep shredding away, or if your noodles are done, I'm going to add them to my bowl first. Yeah, let's get some
Yeah,
cool.
like, my bad, guys. Knew something was off. Right there.
All
All
right, so
right. Carrots are exceptionally rich in beta carotene. It's a powerful antioxidant the body converts into vitamin A, which is to help support vision, immune function, and skin health. Their natural sweetness balances savory flavors while delivering fiber that supports gut health and steady blood sugar levels. How many of us like carrots?
I love
Make
carrots.
sure. I love the
Carrots are like,
sweetness. Carrots. Yes,
all
we got a
right. So
thumbs
I'm
up.
just gonna let my noodles sit to the side, and I'll just show you what they look like.
Then
You see
also
that?
remember to rinse our noodles with cold water to stop the
Oh, I did
process.
not do that. Thanks for the reminder.
Let's see, let me go over
That's gonna
the,
stop the heat, stop them from
yes.
cooking.
We do not want our noodles to be mushy. So yeah, go ahead and give it an immediate rinse with cold water to stop cooking and prevent
All right.
sticking.
All right, so we have our noodles rinsed and off to the side. So I'm gonna go back to my carrot, and I'm just shredding down in strips that are gonna kind of match the vibe of our bell pepper. The one thing that I really love about these particular spring noodles is that you can see through the paper, so you can make it look really pretty. Thing is,
It has a different thread on there.
yeah, but there we go. Oh well, now I've gotten this one, and that's fine. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk because I'm actually probably shredding the way the recipe was asking me to in the first place.
Oh yeah, that might be a shredder. Oh, that's cool. Kitchen gadgets are
Yeah,
just
isn't
so
it cool?
fascinating. There's literally endless tools to, you know.
I love a good kitchen tool. How many of you have? Does anybody else have this tool where you can shred your carrot like in different ways or whatever vegetables that you're using it on? All right, so I have my carrots.
We got a thumbs up from James and Rosemary.
I'm sorry.
Uh, they agreed about having that tool as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. That music is sleepy. Can we get some?
Oh my bad, my bad.
We need some. We need some. Let's lively up the place, please. All right. So I have plenty of carrot. Okay. All right. So our next veg, we're gonna go for our cucumber. I love cucumbers because they're extremely high in water content. Lots of water, really good for hydrating our skin, our body, our organs. Amazing at depuffing our eyes, but they have some really cool vitamins and nutrients in there, and I will tell you all about them now as I do my thinly sliced cucumber.
Yes, cucumbers are over 95% water, making them incredibly hydrating and refreshing. Like you said, or did you mention freezing them?
Did I mention what? I'm sorry.
Freezing them? Oh no,
Oh, freezing them? No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
did not. No,
Um,
but you can freeze them and rub them on your eye, right? Yeah. Uh huh.
yes, it's great in the morning to decrease inflammation in your face. They contain compounds and flavonoids that support anti-inflammatory processes, which we just talked about. While their high water content aids in digestion and maintains a cellular hydration within our skin.
And whatever cucumber you don't use for your recipe, you can absolutely make yourself some cucumber mint water because we have mint. You can make cucumber water. Like Naya said, you can freeze it, put it on your eyes so you're not puffy. Or you can just eat them raw. Very hydrating. Okay. So far we have our, sorry, my mouth is full. You guys know me, though. You know I'm going to do this. Cucumber, red bell pepper, and our carrots, okay? And we have our rice noodles rinsed and sitting off to the side, getting nice and dry. All right, so next I'm going to go for my purple cabbage. I'm sorry, I just can't call this red cabbage. I feel like I'm being gaslit every time I hear red cabbage. Unless I'm colorblind, there's nothing red about this at all, but whatever. So typically how I would cut it, because I use a knife, I'm just gonna cut very close and try to get it as thin as possible. But you could have like a mandolin or something like that. I don't know if anybody has a tool and they just make it much easier for themselves to shred it. But I like to just cut nice thin slices because there was upon a time where all we had was a knife and we didn't have all these cool kitchen tools. And when that was the case, we used knives. So I'm just going to go in and give some nice slices.
It's so cool when you get a new knife set and then they're all labeled for what they're supposed to do. And then when you get to using it, it comes one for all.
Yeah, I pretty much just use like one good knife for everything. All right, so we have our cabbage, and I can tell you all about the healing benefits of cabbage because cabbage is actually super duper, super good for your body. Good at getting things moving in your gut, especially when you eat it raw.
Yes, this is a vibrant, ingredient-rich vegetable. It has a lot of antioxidants found inside of it, as well as blueberries, which help reduce oxidative stress and support heart health. It also has a high vitamin K for bone health and fiber for digestive balancing, making it a functional, for visually appealing benefits. Also, it says it's called red cabbage due to its pH sensitivity pigments within the soil. So the pigment in the cabbage acts as a natural pH indicator. They appear red in acidic soil or environments, purple in neutral conditions, and greenish yellow in alkaline conditions.
Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. All right. So I just went back while you were giving our fun facts and really kind of strained out the rest of the water in the noodles, and now I'm just patting it with a paper towel because we want to get it dry so it doesn't mess up our spring rolls when we're wrapping them. All right, so far we have our cucumber, our red bell pepper, our carrots, and our cabbage, and our noodles prepared. And so what's next on our list of things to do? And while you're going on that, I'm going to look here.
We have our carrots, our cucumbers, our lettuce. So we have our lettuce, mint, and cilantro.
Oh, excuse me. All right. So how are we supposed to prepare our lettuce?
I guess just shred it in there. It doesn't say, let me go through it. It says prep and view all your vegetables, slice everything into thin, even strips, easy for rolling. So slice it into thin, even strips, easy for rolling. You might want to, if you have butter lettuce.
It says slice it into thin strips.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't, on that ingredient, it doesn't say a specific instruction, but on the prep thing that you gave me, it just says slice everything into thin, even strips, easy for rolling. So I guess just prepare it will be best for the rice paper.
Okay. Well, the lettuce that I have, and I'm going to give it another good rinse, it's kind of small. And the way that I was going to just pull them apart, as so. And I'll just do that, and then we will get the rest of our things prepared, and we'll see, because we'll cut it in half.
Yeah, or you can roll with the ingredients inside the lettuce and roll it in the paper.
Possibly. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to put all this stuff to the side. And then the last thing we have is our cilantro and our mint. We don't have to chop that. We just pretty much have to pull the leaves off. And so what we're going to do now is we're just going to get set up to actually roll our spring rolls. All right, so one thing that we need to do is we need to get some water. And we need to put, so I'm going to use this shallow plate, and I'm also going to use some of the water from that I made the noodles in. It's cooled down. You don't want the water to be hot. You want it to be warm. Okay? So warm water is fine. It doesn't need to be hot. I'm going to place it here so you all can see.
Yes. Make sure that the bowl that you're getting is big enough to dip your rice paper in.
Yeah, so you see how this container is going to match the size of my...
Or a plate, add some water.
Wraps. All right, so we also want this surface to be a little wet too. Okay. So now we're going to submerge our rice paper.
For 8 to 10 seconds.
Okay. And then we're going to place it down on our surface. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to start assembling. So can you read off the instructions of what it says? Because I know it tells us how to layer.
Okay, so it says build your roll. Layer ingredients in the center. Lettuce first as a okay, yeah. So put the lettuce as the barrier.
Okay.
Veggie, herbs, noodles.
All right. So veggies. So this can go any way. So we can go with carrot. Some of our cabbage. You just want to do a little bit, like a couple of the shredded pieces. A little cucumber. I'll just do 3. And then I'll do 2 pieces of bell pepper. And then I'll take some of my noodle, just a little bit. So this is how much I'm using. And I'm just going to put it right on top. All right. So now we're going to take the bottom part and we're going to fold it up. And by this time, you should see that your wrapper is nice and soft. And then I'm going to take the other end and tuck this. Now I'm going to gather everything and I'm going to roll it. You just want to be real careful. The first one might be a little messy because it's your first one, but as you continue to roll them, it'll get easier, okay?
Make sure you fold the sides inward and roll tightly from the bottom up.
Oh, actually, I forgot to put the herbs in them. Okay, so that's what I did with the first one, but I'll do it. It's fine. I'll do it with the next one. All right, so one more time. I'm gonna soak this for 8 to 10 seconds.
And can you tell us what it feels like when you feel like your rice paper is ready?
So it feels a little sticky. It feels very soft and pliable and sticky. Okay.
And she's flipping on both sides.
Just to make sure that it gets nice and soft. So this time I'm going to remember to put in my herbs, okay? Does anybody have any questions so far? Please feel free to unmute yourself.
So are you putting the cilantro and the mint on top?
Yeah, so I forgot to add the herbs the last time because I was so concerned with like wrapping. So what you, Naya, can you tell the instructions of the process again?
So we have our layer ingredients in the center. So you want this all in the center of your roll. Our lettuce first, which acts as a barrier. Our veggies, which are, let me scroll up, our carrots, cucumbers. And do not fill your thing. We just want to make sure that it's easier to roll at first. Our cucumbers, our bell pepper, and cabbage.
And then your herbs.
And then our herbs, which is the mint leaves, cilantro, and lastly, our noodles on top.
And with the cilantro, I didn't do any chopping. I'm just going to rip it. And it may have like a little bit of stem inside. Which is
but
totally
that is
fine.
okay. We're eating a full crunch. If you want to get in your vegan mode, feel real healthy today, this is what you need to make. We're eating the stems and all.
All right, we're throwing our mint leaves in there. Okay. Now, once again, as we're rolling, I'm going to move my camera, the second camera, down a bit so you can see more of my hands from the front, okay? So I'm going to fold up, and then I'm going to take my one side of it, whatever side, and I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to start tucking. Tuck and roll.
Tuck the other corner too.
Tuck and roll. I got it. Tuck and roll. Okay. Now that has a big piece. It feels like a big piece of cabbage, so it looks a little awkward. But see that it looks a little. But that's because my cabbage might be a little bit too big. So as you make them, you'll figure out like how, like what do you need to do to adjust. You may need to cut the. See, like on this one, the cucumber is bulging. Maybe you cut the cucumbers into half moons.
And I guess from this, I would suggest thinly slicing everything. And then we can make sure that all of our ingredients are flexible enough to manipulate our rice paper.
Absolutely. Now on this one, I'm not going to use any lettuce. I'm going to go with because that one, I didn't put the noodles in. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make it different ways, or you can try to make them very uniform. I'm going to start with my herbs. And then I'm going to go with carrot. There's no real rule to this. I'm going to go with my red bell pepper, a little bit of cabbage, cucumbers, but I'm going to cut them in half to make it a little bit easier and just kind of layer it on there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of noodles. Now I'm going to fold up. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to roll it and tuck it. Continue to roll. Okay. Now you see how this one, you can see the herbs there. I just stuck my elbow in the water. You can see the herbs and the carrot, all right? So there's no real rules. I'm going to change my water because I just threw my whole elbow in it.
It's 11 would be 39.
All right, so I'm coming back again.
And every different plant feeds a different type of beneficial gut bacteria. The more colorful and diverse your meal is, the happier and more balanced your gut microbiome becomes. A healthier gut is linked to not only a better mood, but it's also immunity and aids in digestion. Whole foods equals a natural beauty boosters. The nutrients like vitamin C in some of these bell peppers, and the lime that we will be using for our lovely sauce. The beta carotene from the carrots and healthy fats from the peanuts work together to support glowing skin, strong hair, and healthy nails from the inside.
All right, thanks, Naya. Okay, so I'm going to roll a couple more. So I'm adding more carrot. We have our bell pepper, our cucumber, which now I am cutting in half to make it for an easier roll. And then we have some of our cabbage. I have my herbs. I'm going to go in with some mint. and cilantro. And then I'm going to add some noodles to it. All right, so now this is probably the first roll that I'm making that actually has everything. I'm going to fold it. And we're just going to tuck and roll. All right. And I'll do one more. Okay, so we're just kind of getting that to absorb as much water as we can so it'll soften. So once again, we're going in with our lettuce. Carrot.
How's everyone done? Let us know what ingredients you're adding inside your lovely spring roll. Add some protein, some tofu.
Of course, and you could add protein, yeah, for sure. Tofu, you can add it if you wanted to add in any other type of protein, any seafood, you could do that.
Add
avocado.
Beans.
Alrighty, and now I'm going to roll.
And mint and cilantro may seem like they're just garnishes, but they're also packed with antioxidants and plant compounds that support digestion, reduce inflammation, and add a burst of freshness that wakes up your senses. And so when we get to bite these, it's going to feel really refreshing.
This one didn't go so well. This one came apart. This one busted open. I'm going to try it again. I'll just remove the whole cup. And we'll try that one more time. And then after we finish this one, we're going to go on to our peanut sauce. All right, so we'll just let that soften up a little bit. How's everyone doing? Are you all able to get your roll the way that you want? How's your roll coming out? Feel free to unmute yourself. This is not soft enough. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes for it to completely soften. All right, so we're just rolling, and then we're good. All right. So far I have made about 5 rolls, and you can make as many as you like, depending on how many people you're serving. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and make our dipping sauce. And of course, like Naya said, if you are allergic to nuts, you could use almond butter, or you could just use like soy sauce and all the other ingredients without any of the nuts, or maybe even use tahini if you wanted it creamy. All right, so the recipe calls for 1 garlic cloves. I'm going to use 2.
All right, so for our yummy peanut sauce, we are currently mincing our garlic cloves. So we are now starting on our sauce for anyone that needs to catch up. And garlic contains sulfur compounds like allicin, known for their antimicrobial and immune supporting effects. It also contributes to heart health by helping regulate blood pressure and cholesterol levels. And the more that garlic is crushed, it enhances the flavor. So the tinier and the thinner that you do crush it, the flavor will be stronger.
Yeah, so we're going to mince this down. And then when I mince garlic and I want like a stronger flavor, then you want to drag your knife over your garlic, which really brings out that stronger flavor in the garlic. And it releases the allicin in the garlic, which has all of the antimicrobial compounds. So we're going to add in our garlic, and then we're going to go ahead and get our ginger together. How much ginger are we using, Naya?
We are using about 1 teaspoon of grated ginger.
All right.
And ginger is widely recognized for its anti-inflammatory and digestive supporting properties. It can help reduce nausea, stimulate digestion, and improve circulation, adding both warmth and functional benefit to the sauce.
So now you can mince your ginger, or you could use a microplane. I would suggest using a microplane and grating your ginger to get the best flavor out of it. It's going to have pretty much the same, pretty much the same principle as the garlic, of just getting it as fine as possible to get the most flavor out of it.
You help release the juices. You can also use a box grater, one of the smaller settings. But again, if you do want, that extra ginger flavor, you need some of those juices to be extracted. So the best use would be a microplane. And watch out for those knuckles. Be careful.
Yeah. Be mindful of your fingers, because sometimes the microplane can catch. All right, can you give us a...
All right, so now we've added our garlic and our ginger. We can now start adding our sauce and then add in the peanut butter, or we can go ahead and add in our half a cup of peanut butter, 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or agave. And depending on the consistency, that's when we will add in our butter.
You said how much peanut butter? 2 tablespoons?
A half a cup.
Oh, half a cup, okay. All right.
But again, this is for the servings. For 4 servings for 8 to 10 rolls. It's depending on how much you like the sauce.
I love the sauce.
Portion you make.
All right, so we're just going to get all of our ingredients in there. A little sprinkle of chili pepper. I am sweating. And then a little bit of water, correct?
Yes, you add your soy sauce, lime juice. Yeah, and I think that's it. Soy sauce and lime juice. And peanut butter are a great source of plant-based protein and healthy monosaturated fats, which support heart health and help keep you satisfied. They also provide magnesium, which is important for muscle function and stress regulation. making this sauce both nourishing and grounding. We're now squeezing our lime into our peanut butter mixture. Fresh lime juice is high in vitamin C and supports immune function, collagen synthesis, and iron absorption from plant-based foods. Its acidity also aids digestion by stimulating digestive enzymes. All right, and can you go over what do you have in your bowl?
All right, so far I have my peanut butter, my soy sauce, my garlic, my ginger, lime juice, agave. You can use agave, maple syrup, or honey. And I've added in, I haven't added in the water. So we're gonna add in water after we stir and taste so we can thin it out a bit. I can show you what.
Thank you. And did you get the crunchy peanut butter or smooth?
I did. I always get the crunchy peanut butter. I did get the crunchy peanut butter. And I know some people may have a peanut allergy. So if I had someone who had a peanut allergy, I would definitely be mindful and use almond butter, or just make one with tahini, or just make a sauce that did not have nuts at all. You don't want to hurt anyone, even though it's really yummy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water and thin it out. It looks a little crazy at first, but it's going to come along. All right, how's everybody doing in the kitchen? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a whoop whoop? You guys are real quiet.
We got a thumbs up.
You guys are doing good. How's your spring roll turn out?
Thumbs up on change.
All right. Yummy.
Can you taste the ginger?
I can taste the ginger. Now, when I add some more ginger, yeah. But later.
All right. Let's see who is done. And you can find all of our recipes on our website under the recipe. Today's lovely meal, we prepared a fresh vegetarian spring roll with a creamy peanut sauce.
All right, so here we are.
And then can you
Everything
move towards your phone a little bit?
Sure. You said adjust it?
Yeah. Just move the plate more towards your phone. Yeah.
Can you all see that?
Mm-hmm.
They're super yummy. All right, I'm digging in. Cheers to Michael and Irma, who I'm so used to feeding. All right.
And because you did make a few, which do you like? What did you add in that specific?
So this tastes like the one that didn't get the herbs. But it's really good. Sorry, I'm gonna double dip my sauce. Add more. Super yummy.
What would you rate the sauce?
I'm sorry.
What would you rate the sauce?
Oh, sauce gets a 10 out of 10. To me, sometimes the salad dressing and the sauce like elevate a dish. The sauce is really good. I love a good peanut sauce though. Is anybody else eating?
There might be some people wrapping still. See how many people today participated. And I was so glad seeing you all during our previous farmers market. Stay tuned for your emails for updates on what's going on. Coming up soon within our lovely Good Life community, as well as learn more information on opportunities and new programs. Join us later on today for our additional class that we have now offering, which is memory sharing. We have now added a second date of Thursdays at 1 p.m. and then our last class of the day will be the seated strength at 3 p.m. So today we have a full schedule, as well as learn about our new studies that you have the opportunity to participate in. Using AI to help adults access healthcare through insurance appeals in partnership with Berkeley School of Social Welfare. Can be a lovely qualifying participant if you are at least 18 years or older, currently enrolled in Medicare Advantage plan, had a denial of care from your plan in the past 12 months. So the Berkeley School of Social Welfare is using AI to help adults access healthcare through insurance appeals. In this one focus group session, which leaves about 60 to 90 minutes, you're able to be provided with a gift card as a thank you, and your identity is completely confidential.
Sorry, Naya, while you were reading off the announcements, I massacred that spring roll.
No, you're good. Yes, it looks so amazing. You're refreshing.
Yeah, that was really good. So yeah, big shout out to everybody that joined the memory sharing classes Tuesday. It went so well that the doc decided to do a second day, so it'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's great. So that's another live offering. So we are working our way back to creating more live offerings for classes and getting creative about the classes that we're offering. We do have the study, as Naya discussed, that we're collaborating with UC Berkeley Social Welfare Services, where we are creating advocacy tools for folks that have been denied any Medicare Advantage claims. So if you or yourself know anyone that has been denied any medical claims for your insurance, please reach out to us. You could have the opportunity to participate in the focus group to discuss as tools are being developed for advocacy for those types of situations, and receive a gift card and a lunch prepared by the Good Life team. Super excited about that. We love doing focus groups. Do we have any questions? And how are you guys all doing with accessing classes? Has the process been a little bit easier since we're sending out the links on Mondays as we're working out our ticketing process? Yes? Okay.
I miss having the link sent like an hour or two before the class.
Mm-hmm. So is it okay? Would it be acceptable to have the link set in an email but not a text message? because we definitely have to release the text message way, but what if we sent the link an hour before class to your email? That would be fine?
Well, the link for the text doesn't work for me because I use a tablet. I don't use my phone.
Got
it. So other people, that might be okay for them. I know a lot of people use their phone, but I use my tablet.
So you want it in an email?
Yeah.
So it's right on the top.
So
okay.
I did save the email that you guys sent with all the links in it for every class. Yeah, so I just have to go back into that one. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. But I was spoiled. I was spoiled with getting the the link.
I think, as I'm, this is one of those things where I'm realizing, like, we definitely set up the program where people were spoiled. You got the ingredients. We made it very easy for people to access the class as we work through. And, that was the goal.
Right.
We wanted to make sure that we were showing up for the community. And, so we're definitely seeing, like, when the ingredients are not provided, do people still want to come? Will they support? And it's actually very eye-opening. And, I know, like, the ticketing process is a completely different issue. We want to make sure that, that of all the things like that, you're able to access the classes easily. We're definitely not trying to make it hard. And trust me, if I had the funding, we'd go back to the old days where the funding was in abundance, Unfortunately, that's just not our reality right now. All of our, and I've had to learn to not personalize it because there's thousands of nonprofit organizations that have been affected by the changes in regards to community-based organizations and nonprofit funding and the people that we're serving. So,
Right. For me, I love the class. I love the class so much that it's not a bother for me to go jump out and get the ingredients. I have so many spices and stuff, I bought along the way that I have just about everything. So usually when I look at what we're going to do, it may be one or two things that I need to run and get, like the fresh veggies. Yeah. But for the most part, I have everything else already.
That's a really good point, because that was one of the things that we, that I pushed over the years. Like, we're providing you these things, but when you go to the store, start buying some of these things on your own, this day inevitably was going to come, right? Like, it's not going to last forever. But then when it does come, like, or even if you just want to make it on your own, right? And you just you're not just making it because somebody's giving it to you, but now you've tasted it, how to utilize the herbs, the spices, and some of those things that could become pantry staples for you. I know one of the things that I actually try to keep in my cabinet now, but it just so happens because I'm restocking and I'm kind of rebooting because I'm in a new location in my pantry, but I love to keep these rice paper wraps. And today I have to go.
What is that?
This is the rice paper wrap. So let me tell you, with these rice paper wraps, you can make the fresh rolls. You can make dumplings. Maybe next week we'll do dumplings. Like, you can make dumplings with these, and also you can use them as a face mask. The rice paper is really good for your skin, so you can soak them in, like, I'll soak them in, like, aloe vera juice, and maybe, like, mix a little turmeric. This is real talk. I'm like,
it's really good for tightening the skin.
And what you do is you just cut out, like, I cut out the shape of my forehead. I cut out over here the shape of my cheek, and in the bottom you cut out the shape of your fin, and then you put it on your face. And then, you make it soft in like the aloe vera juice, and you put it on your face and you use it as a face mask. And this is very good for your skin. Okay? All right. And, I've talked to Maya.
You see my notebook?
Let me see. Is that all the recipes?
Yes.
And
so, I'm constantly recycling and using my recipes. Plus, I get other recipes, in my email. So if I like them, I print them out and I put them in this notebook. And so I use your recipes all the time, over and over, especially now that I rarely eat meat. So these recipes are really, a plus for me. I just love it.
I love that. And especially, that testimony coming from you, it means so much, because we all know you were one of the main ones at the beginning, and you were like, I'm gonna make some chicken, I'm gonna fry some. Rosie was like, I'm gonna fry some shrimp. Rosie was the shrimp lady, you was the chicken lady. And now you're like, I remember the turning point of when you were like, I just made the recipe as it was. I didn't add anything to it. I was
right.
Like, oh, okay. And now, 6 years later, you are like, yeah, I eat mostly plant-based, and you are reaping the benefits from that diet. And so, yeah, I appreciate you for being here and sticking it out. And because I'm the same way. Like, when I started teaching this class, I still ate meat. I don't eat that much meat anymore. I very rarely eat meat now, and it's not because I really didn't have any plans on becoming plant-based. I was just like, I want to incorporate more healthy foods. I want to learn and then incorporate this into the curriculum of healing our bodies through food, using food as medicine. I've always eaten pretty good, but the meat part, I've always eaten a lot of vegetables, but the way that my body just started kind of like not really desiring meat was something that I didn't necessarily factor in. So I just don't even desire it. And sometimes even when I think I want it, I can't eat it. So, but with that being said, it's, that I really don't want to promote like the shaming for people that still like to eat meat. Because if you do, like, that's fine. And, whatever works for your body, just make sure that you are balancing out your meals with things that are very healing and that are helping you cleanse out the beef and the chicken and, and all of those things, because they tend to sit in your body a lot longer. The one recipe that we've made recently that my body loved, and I ate it all week and then some, and actually bought the ingredients to make it again, was the shredded carrot, beet, and apple with that hot oil. My body loved that recipe. It just like, it went in there like the Roto-Rooter. And I was like, oh wow, but it tastes so good. So I actually made it with dumplings, and I put it on top of the dumplings, and I was dipping it in. It's so yummy. I think I might make it again with these spring rolls. Yeah, I'm like really enjoying the plant-based eating, honestly, like genuinely, wholeheartedly, like I love it.
I tell you, one of my all-time favorites, and I cook it probably, I'll say twice a month, is the mushroom salad that Irma had taught us one day on the tostada. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. And my daughter loves it too. Probably about once a month, she'd be like, Mom, let me know when you're making the tostadas again.
Yeah. Yeah, because the mushrooms are very meaty. So like if you're ever craving meat, mushrooms kind of give you that meat vibe when you prepare them properly. And I think that was one of the days. I don't know if I got a chance to eat that, because I think that was one of the days where she taught the class for me. So I wasn't there. Yeah. You guys were talking about it, but I actually did.
It's a good one. So you should try it. I think you really like it. It's good. It's good.
I will. Does anybody else have any questions or comments or things that they would like to add? How has your experience been? I promise you, we're working so hard to get things back to normal. I know it was like a little topsy-turvy. And I'm going to be honest with you, based off of the calculations that we had in December, this whole program was going to get shut down in January. I have done things that I possibly could to stretch out whatever money that we had to keep this thing going. And the fact that it's almost May and we're still here is, and I'm like, it's like one of those things where, you know, as a mother, when, times get tough and you got to figure out how to make the food stretch to keep people fed. It's like that. That's how I feel. It's been,
okay, well, if they shut the program down totally, you need to do YouTube videos so you can get your little following, and we, some of us we'll be coming there and following you and cooking with you still,
Yeah, that's a really good point. It might come to
YouTube,
that.
TikTok, whatever.
We don't get money soon. This is all going to go away. So I'm doing my best. Like I said, I made whatever we had stretch all the way up until this point. And so I'm very, but we're down to the bare bones. But it's okay. I've learned a lot.
Me too.
It's been a very, very beautiful experience. So I appreciate those of you all who are still coming and still rocking with us. I really appreciate it. We will have next week. It's going to be a live class. Now that I'm kind of stabilized, we want to have more live classes, but we will be giving out the ingredients. What is the next week? So what's the Wednesday after the 9th? I come in on the 9th. Can you have a calendar?
We're not down for the 13th.
The 13th? So yeah, we will be, whatever that recipe is, we will have ingredients for that recipe. So there will be.
In 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And a farmer's market. Okay, so you guys prepare, tell your friends. For those who may not have been here, let them know. And I hope to see you all on the 13th. But definitely see you guys for next Thursday for the cooking class. Would you all, it's not